Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Jeremy's podcast, Living Free. The last episode I did, in episode 4, about the bank robbery and going to prison and finally realizing that I had an addiction and I needed to combat my mental health and get some more help than what I needed. So I left off about how I went to work for a company that did some Amazon stuff and hair extension stuff, and so we had bought a house, and like I said, was running the food truck part-time and doing really well. Decided that maybe I wanted a little bit more, wanted to maybe get back into the food business, so I ended up going and being a general manager for Zaxby's here in Utah, and did that for a little while, and then one day realized there was some people came into my restaurant that were hired to clean the windows, fish window cleaning, and decided that, that was something that I wanted to maybe do, is get into another business. So talked to my wife, and we decided to buy into a franchise, fish window cleaning. Left my job, did that full time, ran the food truck part time as well. Did really well in the window cleaning business for quite some time. Got so busy that I ended up selling the food truck because I just didn't have time to do both, and where we had to pay royalties and everything else for fish window cleaning, that was kind of our main concern. And obviously it's not cheap to own a franchise, so bills, payments and things like that. So we ended up doing that from 2017 to 2001-ish. Like I said, did really well, grew the company really well, stayed sober. Since going to prison in 2012 till 2021, to current date in 2021, stayed sober, was doing things. I was doing big things. I was driving a Porsche. I had a couple Harley Davidson motorcycle, a Big Dog K9, which is like a custom chopper. Just my wife had a car. We were just doing phenomenal. Things were just great. And then came COVID. COVID took a toll on the fish window cleaning business. Everything shut down. Nobody knew what was going on. Restaurants were closed, and if restaurants are hurting for money, they don't need their windows cleaned. They're going to cut expenses, and window cleaning is probably one of the first to go. So we decided to close the business in 2021. Just got to be, hard to keep up on the payments and things like that. So we just decided it was best to close the business. So we ended up closing fish window cleaning, because of COVID. The franchise pretty much just let us out for, not having to back pay them anything, which was nice of them to do so. But I would say probably, not too long after 2021 started, with the business starting to go down and things getting tough, I talked myself into having a drink. I relapsed after staying sober for about 8-9 years, knowing damn well that it was just going to spiral out of control. But still, your mind, just when you're in a place of, and you're weak and your mental health's not good, and I just talked myself into doing that. I just loved, it just drowned it out, all my feelings, everything that was going on in my life. And so, we decided to sell our house as well. The market was really good. We could use the extra cash that we were going to make off of our interest that we had accrued in it, escrow, I guess, maybe. I don't know. I'm not a realtor guy, so we decided to sell our house, and we, doing that, decided to sell my motorcycles. Just wasn't using them enough. Just moving on. And 2021, about the mid I guess it was probably May, June-ish or whatever. A lady had messaged me on Facebook, uh, and Facebook is, communicating back and forth or whatever. And, whether you look at it that way or not, it was still, I'm married. I shouldn't have been doing that. And I mean, nothing happened with that lady, but, just wasn't fair to my wife. And so in 2021, on a huge downward spiral, ended up getting 4 DUIs in 4 months. So deciding that, this is coming to a point in my life again where I need help. So I ended up checking myself into a residential rehab, the Phoenix in South Jordan. Really great place. I recommend that if your insurance, the Phoenix Recovery in South Jordan. They do substance abuse and mental health, so they're like a dual combative place. And I stayed there for about 65 days. Got out, completed their residential, was going to join. I got into their PHP program, which is 5 days a week for, I think, 4 hours a day. Fridays are normally about a half day, about noon, 1 o'clock, you're done. Started doing that for a week, and then Thanksgiving came around, 2021, and got home, was able to spend that holiday with my family, my daughter, and everything. Decided, that, things were starting to get back up or whatever, but then came around time for sentencing and court dates for the DUIs. We hired our own private attorney, and we thought that would probably be the best idea. So we hired a gentleman. He did a really good job. Went and did my pre-sentence investigation report with AP&P, and they're recommending 120 or 140 days in jail. My lawyer and the prosecutors all on board. We're going to try to, because of treatment and to continue treatment, not just get, as long as I do that, to stay out of jail. We end up going to court, and the judge decides that no, this DUI is very dangerous, and gives me this big old spiel about how it's so dangerous for his family to be out there driving around, and let alone finding people like me on the road that are driving intoxicated. And I get it. I take full responsibility for that. I mean, that was not smart on my part. So he sends me to prison. So I end up going to Gunnison Prison in Utah. It's basically the kind of the halfway point in Utah with their southern prison. They're closing the other prison down and moving that location. So they pretty much are moving everybody to Gunnison if they have the room. Go down there. So get down there, have to do a inpatient, and basically, well, I'm in prison, so it's inpatient anyway, but do a program called the HOPE program there. It's a 9-month program. Do that, end up staying in jail for pretty close to 2 years, 22 months, 23 months, something like that, with all the jail time, everything added in. Ended up paroling this year on September 5th. Stayed sober even in that prison time from 2021 till now. So I've been sober for 2.5 years. I mean, I know a lot of therapists and stuff like that say, oh, we can't count the prison time or da-da-da-da-da because it was a controlled area. Well, if you've been to prison, you can get pretty much anything. You can drink there. You can do whatever. There's ways to get things, and I chose not to. I stayed sober, like I said, for while my stay there and decided once I paroled September 5th that I wanted to go back and finish the program at the Phoenix, so ended up getting back in the PHP program. Like I said, 5 days a week, 4 hours a day, minus 2 hours on Friday. You get out of there by at 1, and that was good because it complied with my parole and everything else as well that I'm on, and trying to move forward and better myself, and and so I do their PHP program. I've graduated their PHP program, and then get into IOP, which is basically 2-hour classes 4 days a week, and I do that and kept doing that to the end of the year. Then our insurance changed, so now I'm going to another more individual one-on-one basis with a lady that we had found that is really awesome, and she does really good. It's Paperback Connections, I think, is the name of it, and she's a really good therapist. She's, we're going to do some more EMDR and try to figure out the root causes to why my addictions are what they are, and, because, I've come with these treatments to realize that, you just don't wake up an addict. There's things that I think play into our lives that cause us to want to drown things out, or, a lot of it is hereditary too. Family members that have had alcoholism or drug addiction or whatever. I think they say 1 in 3 or something end up becoming addicts themselves or alcoholics. So doing that, got another job, been working full time, and trying to build and strengthen my relationship with my wife as well, and just like I said, just trying to press forward and make the best of the situation. Prison, plays a toll on you. I've, last little while, I've kind of been in a little funk. That's why it's taken me a little longer to get these episodes uploaded. I've just kind of been depressed and trying to get my medication figured out so I can continue to move forward, but I'm still sober. Like I said, I'm going on about 2 years, 5 months. It's not easy every day. There's days where I wouldn't say that I have really cravings, but there's days that I think about, how easy it would be just to go purchase alcohol and drown all my feelings out and continue to but that's not the lifestyle I want. There's nothing good about that lifestyle. I'm fighting right now to get my license back. The judge granted me, I guess, basically a recommendation to be able to travel back and forth to work and to treatment, so I can continue to do that, and I just like. But things are good. Things are starting to fall in place for me again, and I'm actually in the process of building another food trailer this time. It should be done by the spring of 2024, called Badass Burgers and More. I'll have a Facebook platform with it on there. I encourage everybody to go on there and check it out and come out to some of these fairs and carnival stuff. That's kind of the business I'm going to start now. I'm going to keep my full-time job just to keep going back. My wife still works for the same company. Our daughter will be 7 this year. It's been an amazing journey for me. I hope that, somebody, if you need help and you need somebody to talk to, don't hesitate, reach out, email me at Duffin, Duffin 88red at iCloud.com, and hit me up and we can talk and help you out with whatever you need. I know what it's like to feel like that there's nobody, that you're fighting this battle alone, but there's a lot of good people out there that are experiencing the same things as you guys, and what helps me is doing these podcasts. It makes me really come out of my depression, talking about my story and talking, yeah, I was a fuck up, but it's what you do after the fact. You can become that better person and, try. There might be slip ups. That goes hand in hand with recovery, but don't let that get you down, just get back in there in the ring and start fighting. Everybody you know, deserves the freedom from a substance and, mental health. And, you're not crazy like a lot of people think. So, anyway, sorry, had a little power glitch right there. Hopefully that didn't screw too much up. Anyway, like I was saying, you're not in this battle alone. There's a lot of people out there that are facing the same things as you. They might just not be honest about it. They're probably hiding it, or, don't let anybody talk bad about you, or, and if they do, them aren't the people that you need. Them aren't the people that you should be around. So, with that being said, that's going to do it for this podcast. I'm planning to do some more podcasts and hopefully maybe get some guests on here that have faced the same thing, and what their story is and how they overcome things. Just, remember that everybody out there, there's people like me out there, than a lot more than me, that, just do creative writing and journaling, and, are willing to talk and, help you with what we can. Again, if you donate money for this podcast to continue, I deeply appreciate it. It doesn't go to me. I put it in a fund that I use to help other addicts that maybe can't afford to go to treatment, or, can't afford things while they're in treatment, that can, help them, where, I know what it feels like to be in the, on the bottom rung. And, we're always going to fight our whole life to continue to move forward and press forward. And we're, time never really stops, and neither should your recovery. And that's one of the reasons why I think I relapsed, is I stopped working my program. I let things get to me. I shut down. I isolated. I did things that were telltale signs now that and I didn't have the Phoenix recovery that I had, now previously, that taught me tools to be able to catch them thoughts before it's too late that I spiral. And, it's living free is, the best thing that I can tell you that I've ever done for my life, and maybe recovery's not for everybody. You need to make that decision that you want the help. And, if you're not ready, then, there'll maybe become a time when you are. But if you need somebody to talk to, like I said, reach out. I gave you my email address. Again, thank you so much for all the donations. And like I said, it doesn't go to me. I don't do this to try to make $1, or become popular or anything like that. I do this because if I can help one person out there overcome addiction and better themselves, then I've done something that I can feel proud about in my life, that helping somebody else make a change and become a better person. Again, this is Jeremy with Living Free Podcast. Again, I will upload some more episodes coming up soon. Remember, you're worth it. I love you guys. And don't hesitate to reach out. And hopefully upcoming episodes will have maybe some guest speakers on there that can, tell you about a little bit of their story and how they overcame things. And just in case I left things out, I'm sure I left a whole bunch out. This is podcast things all new to me, but I feel like I need to share my story and let people know that, you're not alone out there. And anyway, have a good weekend, everybody, and, keep fighting the battle and keep, overcoming, show people that, people do change, and we can overcome things. And, and if you slip up, that doesn't mean that you're a bad person. That just comes with that comes with the territory, I guess you can say. And I love you guys. I miss you guys. And I'll be doing more podcasts soon. Have a good day. Love you.